any instructions. Okay. So for that purpose, we have three things. One is called opcode fetch cycles, another is called read cycles, and another is write cycles. So these three you have to draw the diagram of these three. So this is the opcode fetch machine cycles. Okay. Next is read cycle, and third is write cycle. So when you are going to draw these timing diagrams, then you have to remember some concepts. How can you proceed and where you have to start? Okay. So first of all of you know that in opcode fetch cycles, it requires 4 T states. Read and write cycles requires 3 T states. So whenever we are talking about opcode fetch cycles, I will always talking about the 4 clock cycles. When I will talk read cycles and write cycles, I will talk 3 T states. Okay. So whenever the T states is required, so now I am talking opcode fetch machine cycle. So this required 4 T cycle. So I have drawn T1, T2, T3, T4. It means 4 clock cycles. Okay. So first we will draw the clock signals. So 4 full clock cycles you have to draw it. Okay. Next is, let us consider when you want to opcode fetch, it means that this opcode is stored in the memory location. Correct? If it is stored in the memory location, so you have to know the address of that particular location. If you don't know the address of that particular location, you can't able to fetch the opcode. Okay, so for that purpose, we have to require the 16-bit address. Okay, so we have required 16-bit address for the 16-bit address for locating the memory location. Okay, so the first thing is you have to draw the clock. Second, next you have to come to the address. So address means you have to generate the 16-bit address. So now how can you generate the 16-bit address? So now you can think we have 16-bit address means A15 to A0. In the pin diagrams, you can see that from A0 to A15, 16 different pins are there. With the help of these pins, you can send the address. So now we will talk that this 16-bit address is divided in two parts, 8-bit higher byte and 8-bit lower byte. Why? Since this is the 8-bit processor. So at a time, it will execute 8-bit data or 8-bit address. Okay. So now what I am doing is, first we are talking about the higher byte of the address. So in the pin diagram, higher byte address, you already know that this is denoted as A15 to A8. This is the 8-bit. Okay. So 8-bit I am sending by these lines. In the last lecture, I also told that this is the byte, these two lines indicating that this is a type of bus. With the help of bus, you can send the more than 2 signals at a time. So I am sending 8-bit. Okay. So we are using bus, not signals. Okay. So this A15 to A8, this 8-bit is sent by the higher order memory address. You can send by this bus. Now next you have to generate the 16-bit address bus. So for 8-bit lower bus, you have to fed it. So next you have to fed the bus. Let us consider I have fed it full bus. Okay. For the lower byte. Lower byte means A7 to A0. But I don't have an option for A7 to A0. I have option for AD7 to AD0. So another bus is drawn, AD0 to AD7. Okay. Now you have to do is, you have to send the lower byte of the address with this bus. So now in the first clock cycles, T1 states, first clock cycles, we are doing that ALE signals, ALE is equal to 1. When ALE is equal to 1, it means that whatever data or items is available on AD7 to AD0, each behaves as an address. Okay, so here I am doing that, we are increasing the value, it means we are setting the value AL equal to 1. If you are setting the AL value AL equal to 1, it means that this bus having some data, that data behaves as an address. Okay, so this will happen in the first clock cycles. Rest of that we are putting AL equal to 0, it means that it will behave as a AL equal to 0, it means that it behaves AD7 to AD0 behaves as a data. So now here lower byte of order of address bus is there, and here higher bus of order bus is there. Okay, so higher order address is in this line and lower order address is in this line. So now what you have to do, I have to combine these two, then you can get the full 16-bit address. Okay, so after combining that, you have to think next you have to think what you have to do. You have to do operation is opcode fetch. So I am getting the address of the particular memory location. So from that memory location, you have to read the value. Whatever the data is available inside the memory, you have to read that value. So I am using the read var signal. Okay, now read var equal to 0, then you can able to read. If read var equal to 1, then you can't able to read. So whatever happening, now since you can see AL equal to 1 up to the first clock cycle, so I have ended that. I will erase this. Now you can see AL equal to 1 is in first clock cycles. Okay, so this bus is ended up to this. But between this, it is in a try-state mode. I don't know the value. Okay, so with this and with this, you can combine these two, you can get the 16-bit address. Let us consider the 16-bit address is 2050H. This address I am getting. Okay, so this address, where is the lower byte? This is the lower byte and this is the higher byte. Lower 8-bit and higher 8-bit. So this 50 will be written in this, and this 20 will be written in this. After that, these two getting combined in this time period, and it will create the full 16-bit address. Now the next is you have to read the value, read the contents of this memory location. For reading, you have to activate the read signals. So if you are activating the read signals, so here this AD7 to AD0 up to this is behaves as an address bus. So after that we will use that for data bus. So we are feeding to the T2 cycles and T3 cycles. This is the data. So I am reading with starting with this and ending with this. So in this way we are trying to read the opcode, whatever data is available in the memory location. Okay, the next is you have to do operation opcode fetch. Okay, so opcode fetch, it means that you have to fix the value of S1 and S0. So you know the different value of S1 and S0, you will execute different operation. So for the opcode fetch, the S1 and S0 value equal to 1. And same way we are using the memory, so input output M bar equal to also 0. So these things will be required. Okay, these things will be required for the drawing the timing diagrams. Okay, so every instructions have a opcode. So this is the same for all instructions. So first you have to draw this opcode phase cycles. Then you have to move for reading and for writing. Okay. So what will happen if you are talking about the reading? What changes will occur? This is clear. First to tell so that I will.
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is okay. Fine. Now you can see for reading. I am talking about reading. Okay. So reading is required only 3 T states. Correct. Okay. What about these T4? I already told that this is the tri-state. It means that the processor will do some operation after taking this opcode. Okay. So now when you are talking about the reading cycles, what will happen? You can see in the reading cycles only 3 T states will be required. So I have put in T1, T2, T3. Clock cycle is same. A15, A8 is same. AD7 to AD0 is same. ALE is same. These 4 lines are common. Now where you have to change it, this is also common. For changing is you have to put the value of S1 and S0. So for the case of reading, S1 value is equal to 1 and S0 equal to 0. That is the difference between opcode phase cycles and machine read cycles. Same way, if we are talking about the write cycles, okay. So in place of read, you have to do write cycle, okay, and you have to change the value S1 and S0. You have to invert it. S1 equal to 0 and S0 equal to 1. That's the thing. Okay? Got the idea? Or you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So then we can move to the next topic, that is called logic devices for interfacing. Let us consider you have a system. Okay, you have a processor, and another have some another device. So if you want to connect these two directly, you can't able to connect that. Okay, let us consider I am talking about the logic devices. I will use furthermore for memory, so I will write it memory. It's better. Okay. Now you have to interface the memory with microprocessor. What you will do? Directly you can add memory or not? Directly you can interface, or you need some another device to interface it. Anyone having idea? प्रोसेसर के साथ अगर मेमोरी को हम इंटरफेस करते हैं, ठीक है, सिंपल सा है. You can see the motherboard. Okay, in the motherboard the slot of memory is fixed. Okay, either RAM or ROM. The slot is fixed. So how can you, if slot is not given, then can you able to connect the memory to processor?
नो सर.
अभी तक तुम लोग को ये पता है कि सिर्फ स्लॉट दिया हुआ है, स्लॉट में हम क्या करेंगे, मेमोरी खरीदेंगे और लगा देंगे. लेकिन प्रोसेसर और मेमोरी के बीच में कनेक्शंस कैसे होता है? हाउ कैन यू फिक्स द स्लॉट? इफ यू हैव एनी आइडिया देन यू कैन टेल कि हम स्लॉट कैसे फिक्स करते हैं. No. So now you can see for interfacing any components with the processor, you need some devices. That device is called logic devices. So how many logic devices are there? कौन कौन सी है लॉजिक डिवाइसेस तुमने पढ़ रखी है? What is the meaning of logic device? Can anyone tell? लॉजिक डिवाइस क्या होता है? पूरा DLD खत्म हो गया, डिजिटल लॉजिक डिवाइस.
Sir, capable of doing logical operations.
Okay, capable of doing logical operations. So which type of components are available for doing logical operation? Can you give the examples of that?
The flip-flop, NAND gate, NOR gate.
Okay, NAND gate, NOR gate.
ELD sir.
क्या?
ELD.
ALD क्या होता है? What is ALD? Okay, means
device.
different types of gates. Okay, first is different types of gate, and any other things. With the help of gates, we can create some another components also. That is called encoder, decoder,
Counter.
okay,
The counter and
counters. But we are not using the counter for interfacing. We are using, we are using NAND gate and encoder for interfacing the components with microprocessor. See how it's possible, because this you can think. जैसे मान लो हमारे पास जो प्रोसेसर है, ठीक है, जो 8085 है, इसके पास 16 बिट है जो एड्रेस है, ठीक है, लेकिन हमारे पास कोई मेमोरी है जिसका एड्रेस क्या है, 12 बिट ही आ रहा है या 8 बिट ही आ रहा है, ठीक है. तो इसके लिए हम क्या करते हैं, इसके लिए लॉजिक डिवाइस की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. You have to convert this 12 bit into 16 bit, or you can convert this 16 bit into 12 bit. This is the problem. So for that purpose, we are using the encoder or decoder or NAND gate, okay, for logical devices. So we can move fast. We can overview some logical devices, okay. All of you know that, all of you studied already in DLD. So I will move faster little bit, okay. So these logic devices will be used. Now the first is called tri-state devices. Second is called buffer, decoder, encoder, flip-flops, okay. So all of you know the flip-flops, correct? Encoder, decoder, buffer, tri-state devices. What is tri-state devices? You came across with these tri-state devices?
Yes sir.
What is the meaning?
1 minute.
See, in tri-state devices, what happens? 3 states will be there.
इसमें से 0,
Okay.
1 और हाई इम्पीडेंस होता है.
हाँ, 3 states, 0, 1 and high impedance. Okay. So we'll see one by one. Okay. This is the tri-state devices. Tri-state devices is called 3 states, and these 3 states having active low states, active high states, and high impedance state. So this is the 3 pins. This is the D corresponds input, Q corresponds output, and OE or E both can you represent that, okay, with OE or E. E means enable, OE means output enable, okay. So what will happen when you need to when you want to operate this tri-state devices? What will happen? When you provided 0, you can get the 0. When you provided 1, you can get the 1. But when output enable is active, active means output enable is set to 1. If output enable is 0, you can't get the output, either 0 or 1, you can't get anything, means it is the off condition. Same happens in the buffer. In buffer what will happen? If you are providing 0, you can get the output 0. If you are providing 1, you can get the 1. But here off condition is not there. Either 0 or 1 will be present at the output. Okay, so in the tri-state devices, when you don't need the output, you can switch off that components. That's why tri-state devices will be used. Okay. Next is buffer. Okay, the buffer is a logic circuit that amplifies the current or power. It has one input line and one output line. It used to increase the driving capability of logic circuit. First, you know why buffer will be used. Buffer क्यों यूज करते हैं, क्या काम है बफर का? बफर का कोई काम बताओ. 0 देंगे 0 आएगा, 1 देंगे 1 आएगा, तो why we will use the buffer? Any practical application?
सर डिले में यूज कर.
डिले?
हाँ.
क्या डिले? डिले क्या?
प्रोपागेशन डिले.
प्रोपोगेशन डिले में यूज करते
डिले.
हैं. ओके, प्रोपोगेशन डिले क्या, जनरेट करने के लिए?
टेम्पररी स्टोरेज
डिले जनरेट करने के लिए या प्रोपोगेशन डिले कम करने के लिए, उससे कुछ तो होगा ना.
सिर्फ प्रोपगेशन डिले देने के लिए तो
ज्यादा कर.
अच्छा, प्रोपोगेशन डिले ज्यादा करने के लिए. Okay, let us see one practical aspects of this. You all of belongs to 5th sections, correct? Let us consider 45 students are there. All 45 are present in the class, in the classroom. Okay. If I required any one students, I will call Biplab. Okay. It's very easy to find out. If it is, let us consider all of you sitting on a home. Okay. And if I will call someone, it's very difficult to getting that. You understand the problem?
yes sir.
So what will happen? In this case, always data is always available on that part. If data is available, you can pick the data anytime without any delay. If let us consider, if you are not storing data anywhere and you require the data, what you will do?
Record
Without any operations, you can't get the data, correct? But if you are doing some operations, after that you can store the data in buffer so that you can pick the data from any time, whenever you want, correct? And the second thing is, with the help of buffer, you can increase the driving capability. So what is the driving capability? Driving means you can say that amount of useful output. Okay. So if you are increasing the driving capability, it means that maximum output you are using that. You are not getting any loss on that. So driving capability defines that the maximum fan out of an output measures its load driving capability. What is fan out? You know the fan out? Fan out of logic devices, how can you find out? So fan out defines that number of inputs that can be connected to a specified output. Okay. So this maximum, it means that you can say that with the help of buffer, you can utilize the maximum output. How? Whatever the data coming after operations, you are storing in that particular buffer. From the buffer, you can take the data anytime. Okay, since data is always available in that. So see that this is the octal buffer, that is name is 74LS244 octal buffer. Octal means 8. Okay, so this is the 8 different input and 8 different output. Now you can see that in this is a, which type of gate is it? It is, which type of gate it is? Which type of gate it is? Please tell the answer. Which type of gate it is?
Sir, NAND. Hello.
NAND, how?
So, सबसे पहले एंड गेट लगा हुआ है, उसके पीछे सर एंड गेट
okay.
नॉट गेट लगा हुआ है, नॉट गेट लगा हुआ है पीछे.
So let us consider one input is A. I am supplying A and another is B. Then what is the output here? What is the output? I am supplying, let us consider with the OE enable. With the OE enable, I am supplying A input. With the OE2 enable, we are supplying the B input. What is the output of this gate?
Sir, A bar dot
A
B
bar
bar.
dot B bar.
A bar dot B bar. So when you
Yes, sir.
simplify A dot bar B bar, what you will get? Use De Morgan's theorem.
A plus B whole
What
bar.
will happen? A plus B whole bar. So what is the, which type of gate it is? A plus
NOR
B whole bar, which
NOR
NOR.
NOR gate. Correct? So why this NOR gate will be used? Since you know output here you can see OE1 and OE2 is both are active low signals. Okay, if it is active high signals, then we will use NAND gate. Okay, so whenever it is active low signals, you are using NOR gate. Okay, so now with the help of OE1 and OE2 pins, we are controlling all these buffers. Okay, so this is also called as line receivers or line drivers. So we are not going to use a single buffer always. We are using the combinations of buffer so that you can get less space. Now the next is called encoder. So encoder is a logic circuit that provides the appropriate code as output for each input signals. Okay, when you will give any so what will happen in the case of encoder? Input is either binary or BCD. You can get the BCD or binary as output, and you can provide any signals. Like different types of encoders are there: 4 to 8 bit priority encoder, 8 to 3 bit encoders. Now you can see that this is the 4 to 2 bit binary encoders. In this, whatever there data inputs there, 4 represents the input and 2 represents the output. Okay, so whenever the output I am getting, this output is either in the binary or BCD. Okay, Now the problem with the encoder is, let us consider, see, truth table you see 001, then you can get 00, 0010, then you can get 01, 0100, then you can get 10, 100, then you get 11. If 00, you can get, you don't know. Okay. Now you can think, let us consider I am writing the input. Wait, I will erase all things. I will providing the input 1, 1, 0, 0. Now you can tell that what is the output. With the help of truth table, you have to decide that what is the output of this input. Anyone fast? No idea.
So 1-1. नहीं sir.
1, 1.
नहीं sir.
1 is available for 1, 0, 0, 0. See that there is a disadvantage of this encoder. When two inputs are high, you can't able to decide that what is the output. Okay? So you can't able to decide. So whenever you will use, you have to think that keep both simultaneously more than one signals are not high. Okay, only one will be high at a time, then you can get output, otherwise you won't. Next is 3 to 8 bit priority encoder. Okay, all the things are there, same things are there for the different input. You can use the 8 different output. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 from 0 to 7. So now we will use the decoder. Actually, we are using decoder as a logic devices to interface the any components or memory or input output devices. Okay. So this is the reverse of the encoder. There are two types, 2 to 4. Example, it is there are more number of types are there. But 2 to 4 bit binary decoder and 3 to 8 binary decoder. Now you can see in this case, this is the reverse process. Okay. If two inputs you are supplying binary inputs, so combination of these two is 4. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So for the every input, the one output will be high. Okay. So now you can see, you can remove that disadvantage of the encoder. In encoder, if the two inputs are high, you can't get the output. But in this case, if two inputs are high, you can get the output, no problem. If 3 pins are there, you can use the 3 pins high, then also you can get the output. Okay. So now you think that in encoder or decoder, one lines are there that is called enable lines. With the help of enable pins, we are activating this circuit. Okay. If En equal to 1, then you can able to use this circuit. Otherwise, if it is 0, you are not getting using this circuit. So this is the ABC three inputs. For the three different inputs, you can get the 8 outputs. Okay. For D0 0, 0, 0, for D1 0, 0, 1, D2 0, 1, 0, like that. Okay. So now you can see that next is flip flop. Okay. All of you know that D flip flop, we will use the D flip flop for the any digital storage purpose. Okay. This D flip flop is made with the help of SR flip flop. Okay. In SR flip flop, there is first you see the JK flip flop. JK flip flop, some disadvantages are there. What is the disadvantage of JK flip flop? What is the disadvantage of JK flip flop? Anyone? No. The disadvantage of JK flip-flop is called race around conditions. Race around conditions. Okay. So what will happen in the SR flip-flop? We are combining the input with the help of inverter, so that we are, if you are providing the 0, then you can get at the terminal 0, and the other terminals you are getting 1. Okay. When you are providing 1, you are getting 0 and you are getting 1. So in this way, we are using the D flip-flop, since in the SR flip-flop 2 inputs are required, but for storing the data, we are required only 1 bit. Okay. So this is the truth table. All of you know that, correct? For the, if the clock is 0, you can't get any output. It means that whatever data is available in memory, that data will be purchased at that time. Okay. Whenever the clock is high and you are providing the input 0, you are getting the output 0. And when you are providing the input 1, you are getting the output 1. Okay. So in the next class, we will be talking about the memory interfacing. Correct? If you have any doubt, please tell. Since these logic devices already, I think you know, all of you. Okay. So we are not going into detail. Please tell if you have any doubt. कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो बताओ.